Hi everyone, I'm Dr. BB. I'm a mom and also a pediatrician. And this year, my favorite article about health and wellness didn't come from the New England Journal of Medicine. It came from the New York Times, and it came from a competition in England where people stick their heads through a horse collar and make the ugliest face possible. it's called the World Gurning Competitions. So this little town in England has been doing this since the 13th century, over 700 years. And every September, people gather to watch all these contestants pull the most grotesque, the silliest faces that they can manage. And there is a reigning champion who has won this 19 times. 19. I mean, this guy has dedicated significant portions of his life to making ugly faces. And so when I read about it, I couldn't stop laughing because, I mean, the guy is just amazing. And then I couldn't stop thinking about it. And let me show you what they actually do. They stick their heads through a horse collar. They call it a bruffin for some reason. And then you just go for it. Like this. And sometimes like they really scrunch up the whole face and then push their jaw in and like cross their eyes like this. And some of them like they fold their cheeks over their teeth and then they do the things with the jaw that really looks like physically impossible. So anyways, the guy who won this year said something that I thought was really great. He said, "You can't gurn properly if you're worried about looking silly." Which, yeah. Obviously, you can't make an ugly face if you're trying to look good. But also, when was the last time any of us did something without worrying about looking silly? What I thought was really cool was that the woman who was organizing this whole thing said that this is all about being yourself in the ugliest and best possible way. And I was like, okay, wait. Because we spend so much of our time trying to be ourselves in the prettiest way, right? The most filtered way, the most put together way. I mean, on Instagram right now, you're probably seeing holiday cards where everyone's wearing matching pajamas and smiling at the exact same angle, which is totally fine, by the way. Like, I really love a good family photo. But there's something about this competition that just makes me smile and makes me laugh. And it just really got to me, right? Like 700 years of people showing up to celebrate being ridiculous, being imperfect, being bad at something on purpose, and having everyone cheer for you anyway. Like that's mind blowing, and that's really, really fantastic. It also got me thinking too about me being a parent. And I was thinking about what my kids have been doing. So my oldest now does this thing where she talks gibberish with her sister in their own kind of made up language. And they're loud and they do this at dinner. And I catch myself sometimes being like, okay, indoor voices, or let's use real words. But now I'm thinking, why? Right? Like they're not hurting anyone. They're just being weird or joyful, and they're having lots of fun. That is something that's really obvious to me. They're laughing, they're smiling, they're connecting, they're not fighting with each other. So yeah, I definitely realized that I do this thing where I accidentally teach them that there's a right way to be, a right way to talk, a right way to sit at the table, a right way to answer when adults ask them questions, a right way to exist. But what if I celebrated gurning a lot more? The weird voices, the made up words, the faces that they make, trying to make each other laugh. And then also the questions too that don't really have any neat answers. I mean, what if being a little ugly, a little ridiculous was, actually the point? Then I started thinking about what I saw as a pediatrician. The kids who feel safe being silly, of being wrong, of trying things that might not work, those are the kids that bounce back. They're the ones who are asking questions, asking different questions, and they try again. They are resilient, and they don't really care as much about what other people think of them. Whereas the ones who've learned that there's only one acceptable versions of themselves, they're the ones who are terrified of messing up, of trying, of being silly, of being ridiculous. And I don't want that for my kids. I don't want that for anybody's kids. So, yeah. That was the best article I read this year about health and wellness. A competition about making ugly faces. And sometimes you just need permission to stop worrying about looking silly. So, yeah, tell me, what is the weirdest, silliest thing that your kid does that you secretly love? And if you want to hear this today, be weird, be imperfect, be silly, be yourself in the ugliest and best way possible. I'm Dr. Beebe. Enjoy. Take care.